What's up, brother?
What is shaking?
Oh, man, life in general, the craziness that it is. So we
Hmm.
are back. Good evening, Blair. How are you? It's another episode of the Hangout Live.
Hang out
Uh,
live.
How's your week been, my friend?
It's been let's see, where was I last week? I get lost in the week. It's actually been pretty good as far as I've been in the studio working on a new track, trying to get it done. It's just about there, but then now I
Right
need
on.
but it's what you call a barn burner.
Really?
Yeah, barn
Gonna
burner.
tear up the charts, is it?
Yes, with a bullet.
Right on, man. Everybody's plugging in here. We'll let everybody get in. I see you, Robert,
Good
Dorothy, Chad,
evening.
Stormy,
Good evening.
Veronica, Rebecca, Stephen, Blair,
What is
Dave
this?
Wood.
Rebecca's, what is this? What is this?
This. Ah,
What
what
is this?
is this? So yeah, man, it's been a good week here too. Crazy busy as absolutely always. Never slows down. You know how that goes. So we'll kind of
Yeah.
let everybody get in here, and then we'll start the show and start talking. Obviously, there was a Facebook message put out this week. Um,
Jennifer.
what's the word? Thunderbirds. I like that, man. So there was a Facebook message that was put out this week, obviously talking about the future of the Hangout and where it goes from here. And we're going to talk about all that here in just a moment. Going to miss you if this is the last broadcast. We're going to miss you too. James, my brother, here to talk. I appreciate you, my friend. So, yeah. So let's just get after it, shall we, Robbie?
Sure. Let you do it. Start it up.
Hey, hey, hey. So, 2 years ago, Robbie and I were sitting back, and of course, we were right in the thick of the COVID lockdowns, and the craziness began, and the fear, and being stuck at home, and Robbie obviously not being able to tour, and um, all of those fun things, that we all faced together. And we sat back and we talked about, man, how can we still come together and still feel and get things out there that people want to see, and maybe bring people just a little bit of happiness, like a moment away from the bullshit, and everything that we were facing. So it was, what was your kid's name that you were coaching? Our first guest.
Dado. Dado.
Yeah, Dato, that's it.
Yeah.
So we decided, hey man, let's try this. It's kind of a cool little idea, and we came on Facebook and we did the first one, and I think we had what, like 5 people watching, 6 people watching. It was pretty bad, and then it got up there a little bit, it
Yeah,
climbed up a
it
little
didn't do
bit.
so bad, really. It actually didn't do that bad. It was like it kind of got pretty decent, and then when we started talking about it that next day, or I don't even remember exactly, we started, well, maybe we should do this. Look into the Rolodexes, start getting a hold of people we know, and let's see what we can do. And
Yeah, I
so
mean, between the two of us, we've got crazy connections. We've got nice Rolodexes, and people that we know have even better Rolodexes. So we thought, man, let's get after it, and let's try doing this on a weekly gig. And originally, remember we used to start the show, and I'd like be wearing a different mask every
yeah,
time, like, or a helmet or something stupid, and it was
yeah,
just for fun, man.
yeah. The
And
early
then it kind
shows,
of grew in.
the early shows had a different vibe to it for sure.
Yeah. So it grew into something more than that, man. It grew into like a passion, and something we really started putting a lot of effort into. And shit, I remember I spent my birthday with you in 2020 in LA or Orange County
Yeah.
with Morgan Miles, and we did the TV pilot filming with we did the interview with Don Dokken that night, and that
That
was
was
uh, that was impressive, dude. I'll never forget watching you and I sitting in that stupid chair getting our makeup done by Conan O'Brien's makeup artist. You know, sitting on those Harleys and having some fun. It was a good night, man. But so So anyway, we've been doing it for 2 years. We've got almost 90 shows in the bucket, and life is back, and people are going back to work and getting out on the road and doing what they do. And Robbie's out, back out and touring and doing what he's doing. And I've got, ridiculous. I've got the radio. I've got the golf course. We got a car lot coming up. And then the other things that I get involved with, agent management, stuff like that with some artists. So time's getting difficult. And being able to get people that can be on the show and then all of a sudden they're like, oh man, I have a gig that just came up, or we just got sent back out, or can we reschedule? And then Robbie and I are battling, trying to make time to get guests for the show and to put the work into it. So we've decided, unfortunately, and this has been coming for a little while, I promise I'm not going to make you cry, Cheryl. We won't do that. We've decided to step back a little bit from doing this. So to answer the question, no, this is not the last Hangout Live. What it is a transition for the show to where we won't be coming on every Tuesday. But what we will be doing is looking for the right guests and the right opportunities and the right timing where everybody can get together and do this. And then we will blast the hell out of it to all of our family, you out there. And then we'll come together. Now, whether that's, once a month or what it may be, we are not sure yet. I'd like to be at least that, but it just won't be every week.
Not at this point, unless something changes and, it's somehow we get somebody that helps us get guests easier and locks them down, because it's hard for us to do that production for either one of us. And we've, run through our Rolodex or whatever you want to say, pretty much run through it. I mean, there's a bunch of people I know that I just can't get them to commit. They're just like, oh, they're maybe too shy to do it. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, they're just like not doing it, not wanting to do it. So there's still a group of people, but sometimes it takes somebody else to help that. Like James Hyde said, maybe he could help out. I'm sure he could.
Yeah, James Hyde's been incredible, man. He called me last night and he was like, bro, you can't let this come to an end. And we were batting back and forth ideas. And he said something crazy to me that really kind of made it stick in my brain. Was he's like, dude, do you understand that a TV show gets syndicated at 100 episodes? He's like, you're at 90, man. I mean, that's an accomplishment. So, yeah, we're not going to let go of it. We just need to try to make it make more sense and be more deliberate. Because the last thing we like doing is like last week, like, hey, sadly, there's not going to be a Hangout show tonight.
Yeah.
That sucked. You know what I mean? And that came down to, number one, some technical difficulties with schedules and stuff like that. And then our guest, wasn't able to make it because they got trapped in the studio and they couldn't make it. So that's not what we want to do. Yeah, we've had some guests that said they'd love to come back, maybe go, yeah, we want to do some encore stuff. There's definitely some guests that there's a whole lot more to do with. There's a lot of guests that we haven't had on yet that we want to get on and we think we can get on. Going after, like Nugent and stuff like that, I think would be great. James also said that he's going to help us as much as he can. I know Jody Best from Best Bet Promotions is going to help out. She's ridiculously connected, dealing with people like Leopard, which we still need to make that happen. And all those things. It just seems to be a very busy time right now for everybody. So,
yeah,
we're connected to the show. And I was thinking about it. It's kind of crazy, bros. I was thinking last night, like, because we both want this to become something more than what it is, prospectively for our careers, obviously. And then I was thinking, the frustration of, okay, well, what about the Twitch TV? What about this? What about the pilot we did? And why isn't this show gaining more momentum than what it has? And whether we change formats, do we do this? Do we do that? And then I thought all about the cool things that actually came from this show, have come from this show. Like, well, first of all of you guys, I mean, that's just freaking crazy cool. Made some real friendships, made some real connections, people that I talk to regularly now. Kim, Veronica, James, people that I would have never met in my life are now part of my life. So that's cool. And then I met my business partner through the show, Patrick from the State Line Band. Obviously, a critical portion of my life now. He's a business partner in the golf course and the car lot and all that stuff. So very influential in my life now. So I mean, there's been a lot of great things, and plus, Robbie, you and I have had a chance to bond in a way that we didn't bond before the show. We've been friends, but we didn't. Now we're more tightly knit.
We're bonded.
Oh, Huggies. So I think it's cool, man. And yeah, I mean, Chad says bi-monthly. It might be, brother. I mean, we're not ruling that out, to be honest with you. We just know that weekly isn't going to be possible for right now.
For right now, the other part of it is, if at 90 episodes, if you think about TV, that would have been how many seasons? 4 seasons.
4.
And usually they do a
4.
season and then there's a break and then there's a season, and we haven't done a break. So,
right.
And not that we're wanting to take a long break by any stretch. We just got to make sure that we just get guests, just get somebody to commit. They're going to do it. We got some great guests, we've had so many good guests. I mean, so
incredible.
Many. It's amazing. I mean, just recently, John Waite,
Yeah.
Don McLean, Don Dokken, Bill Leverty, Joey Allen. I mean, I just, I mean,
yeah.
Go on, right? Oh, Brad Gillis, Mark Slaughter, Jack Russell. I mean, James Hyde. Right. I mean, geez.
Tawny
Katane.
One of the last interviews she gave, man. I mean, a ton of content. You're right, James. Absolutely, brother. We should have just had James come on the show tonight, man. Who's your favorite that you've had? You know what?
It's too hard to say. There are just so many good ones. It's just, for me, it's just like I can't even really say a favorite for me, because I think
I can't either. I can't, man.
So many different things.
I'm not giving that bullshit answer like a quarterback gives, like, hey, it was a team effort, and it's like, I'm not trying to play it off like that. So top 10. All right, James, I got top 10, and I'm going to tell you right now that you're in it. You're in my top 10 for absolute sure. And you're in my top 10 not because of the show, but because of the commitment that you made to me and the fact that you showed up here in San Angelo and we hung out and we did that concert together, and that you were about what you said you were about, man. So that's why you're in the top 10 for sure. And plus all the support ever since. I mean, you've been fantastic. Frank Hannon was great. Agreed. Brian Ray. I loved Brian Ray.
And Brian. Yeah. Brian from Tesla.
Exactly. Brian was fantastic.
Yeah.
Who else, man? I mean, well, God, I'm struggling for names now. The dude that's the actor that was with McFarlane, or started out at the Family Guy. He did the movie.
Oh, yeah.
What was his name? I can't believe I can't remember his name. I'm having a hard time right now. He was fantastic. He was the actor. So anyways, great guy. And then I'd have to say Don McLean was like
epic. I mean,
epic.
It's a cultural icon. It's amazing. But I mean, for me, like, Mark Slaughter was great. I loved Mark Slaughter, and Brad Gillis was a lot of fun. I mean, Joey Allen, I just think about him and go, and that was good too. Magic Marino was a lot of fun.
Yeah, she says Highlander. Don't forget that one.
Oh yeah. Exactly. Yep.
First guest on the show, Dado. He was the first guest, and then the second guest was Jack Russell.
No, well, Dado, but that didn't. If you count that, yes. But then Jack Russell, and then Luis Maldonado. Luis was funny too. He was.
What about Magic Moreno, man? He was like having the Dalai Lama on here.
Yeah, we had him on he was like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, and dude, I mean, even today when I reach out to him, and he's just the most genuinely beautiful person, man. He's just, Matthew, I'm so happy to have you in my life, and I'm like, who speaks like this? I mean, like,
Remember
you'd be
Eddie
like,
Spaghetti?
yeah, we remember Eddie Spaghetti. What
Yeah,
about
we do. You
what
want to
about
go
Johnny Drama?
bottom 10 shows? No, we won't.
Bottom 10 shows, Ellison. Yep. In fact, he was him and one other. I'll call him out because he's
Oh, I won't go there.
Ellison. Come on, man. Dude got up in the middle of the interview and said, "I'm going to go watch
No,
football."
it was at an hour. It was at an hour. It was a good hang. It was a good hang. And then at an hour, he's like, oh,
Don't back
yeah,
him
he
up,
died.
dude. He's not a good person. We all saw the news. Come on, brother. We all watched the news. No, that's the only one that I can honestly remember that I didn't.
Oh, you like Eddie Spaghetti?
Eddie Spaghetti was cool, man. He was cool. He was just nervous, brother. Rudy Sarzo.
Rudy Sarzo, Robert Sarzo. Robert Sarzo was a lot of fun. You weren't there. You were out in the tower, but man, that was a cool hang.
What about Carmine Apiece?
Carmine.
Legend, dude.
Yeah,
Rod Stewart.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I tune in just for the hosts. I tune in just for you, Cora. Absolutely. Actually, I do. To be honest with you, in the beginning, man, I was like, dude, this is gonna be fun. We're gonna talk to all these, these musicians and actors and all these people, and some people I don't know, never met. I was really excited about that, and then it became more about the connection with all of you. It really did, and that's why I'm trying to be so on top of getting the comments up there and pointing them out. Sometimes we don't get to all of them, and it sucks. Stuart Marriott is one of the best human beings out there on the planet. That guy is fantastic. Fantastic. You're absolutely right,
really
Silver.
good. And Jennifer mentioned Vinny. I never did reach out to Vinny. I should have. I do have his number and stuff. But you know what was weird about it, because they started doing their own thing, I kind of felt like maybe I shouldn't. But he's a riot. He's actually a pretty funny guy. It's probably worth reaching out to him.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think what we do is we just kind of get more selective as far as who we're going to have on, when we're going to do it, make sure the timing is right for everybody. Maybe get some people involved in the production side of things.
Yeah.
So that the show can go farther and have a little bit more reach. I think what really kind of has frustrated Robby and I both, and we're going to kind of talk behind the scenes stuff with you that you guys don't normally get to hear from. That was Ellison that we had on from Megadeth. Who is on your wish list? The wish list, guest list.
Wish list: Jimi Hendrix, Eddie Van Halen.
No, man.
Kathleen liked Dario. Dario's show was good, but go ahead. Sorry.
Dario was great.
Yeah.
Wish list, James. God, so many, but to be at the top of the list. Huh?
Musicians or actors or both?
Yeah. Dude, I would love to sit back and talk with Garth and have him on the show.
Yeah.
Ted Nugent, absolutely. Kid Rock, 100% good dude.
Brett Cox, what's up?
The actor that I would most like to have on here, honestly, would probably be Sam Elliott. There's something about old Sammy, man. He's just the ideal cool, man. I love him. Garth Brooks, absolutely. Yeah, Garth is fantastic.
Good. Who was the you reached out to in the very beginning, the country girl? I'm forgetting.
Shania Twain.
Shania Twain would be great.
Yeah, and all
Joe
we got
Elliott?
was.
I still want to see the Joe Elliott thing happen.
Yeah, I think Joe would be fantastic. Yeah, I love Sam Elliott. Absolutely, he'd be fantastic. Agreed. I've liked Sam ever since I saw him in the movie The Mask. You remember The Mask?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with Cher, and he was the biker, and I thought that dude's fantastic. Yeah, we'd like to get Sam. Absolutely, Jerry, my brother, for sure. So yeah, anyway, we're gonna do some more stuff, but what really kind of got behind us was the fact that in the beginning we were getting 20, 30, 40,000 views on videos, and then we kind of started throwing some money behind it and trying to push it and boost it. And we have, obviously we've never been filtered on this show. We don't filter our guests. We don't do a rehearsal. We don't do a pre-production. Hey, here's where we're going to talk and where we're going to go. So when we stopped throwing the money into it, I think Facebook really kind of clinched down on our algorithm and stopped allowing us to get the reach that we were getting. And then because we would not censor our guests and what they had to say, they would not monetize our show. So that made things very difficult. Yeah, George Strait would be fantastic on here. So then we got involved with Twitch TV, which we thought, man, that's really going to be the birth of the show, is this Twitch TV. I mean, it's huge. Everybody knows how big that is, especially for gamers and stuff, but they were launching the TV aspect. And Nancy Sales has a channel on there called Rock Against MS. It's the Rams Network. Nancy's a fantastic woman, does great things in the world of MS and trying to help battle that disease and raise money for the awareness of the disease and all those things.
And she suffers from it. So
for the last so many months, she's been unable to really run that or do much with it because she's having a difficult time herself. So those were the things that Kip Winger. Yeah, Kip's great. He's a good dude. Good dude. Why didn't we reach out to Kip?
I don't know.
Maybe someday.
Yeah.
Maybe that's one of them. Roast Dwarf was great. Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, there was a whole lot of things that just kind of, that was very frustrating. Ozzy would be great, but he would be very hard to prod. And you would just kind of sit back and shut up.
You know what? We wouldn't be able to understand him, but that would be okay. We'd just let him, and just the whole time.
Okay.
I'd be like, and yeah, keep going.
Yeah, just keep talking, brother.
Just do it.
One of the best compliments I ever got was from another DJ that my screen's going weird right now. That is with Clear Channel or whatever. And the compliment was, man, I've watched you and I've listened to you, and you're a great DJ because just to shut up and let people talk. I'm like, that's a cool compliment.
That's part of the game, right? Just letting people talk.
Amen, brother.
Yes, unless he sang his dialogue very correct. Yeah, he could have fun. He could sing it.
Yeah, then you can understand him.
Yeah.
Connections to Kenny Chesney. Yeah, I wish. That dude's, it'd be fun is Paisley. That dude's a freaking beast.
Yeah, Paisley would be great.
Brad Paisley's a beast on the guitar.
Yeah. I'd take any of those guys in the country world. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Joe Perry. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, keep pouring in the ideas. Let's all absolutely stay in touch. And
Dirty Honey, right? We keep hearing that Dirty Honey could come on. They'd be worth doing.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, we got to get Jody Best to pull the trigger on them. Jody's fantastic, man, and she'll be like, okay, I'm going to give you so and 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 so, and then she has every intention of doing it, but she's so freaking busy, man, that she'll go a couple of weeks and she'll be like, oh my God, can you get him on tonight? Like,
yeah, I was like, can you make that happen right now? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, Facebook can suck it, Dana. Absolutely. Joan Jett, she would be fun.
Yeah, Joan would be cool.
We tried Lita a couple times. We couldn't make the timing with her.
Didn't want to do it, so whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're being honest. I was being nice, but
no, I think I respect the decision to say no. No means no, don't you know that?
Right?
No means no.
I don't think I could last through the song for Little Big Town because, man, that song, Pontoon, gives me weird feelings in weird places.
John Corabi, yeah.
Tommy Lee, he'd be all right, yeah.
Small staff would have gone a long way. You're right, Bob. Bob
My
Son of, is that
favorite
you, Bob, or is
band,
that
let
Bob's
me
cool?
see,
I've known Bob forever. We used to skateboard together way
right
back.
on. Hell yeah.
He's correct, though. If we would have had any kind of staff, it would help. Somebody running production, man, that could have been just great. Somebody pulling people in and going, here's who you got. Excellent, thank you. Hand us
Right.
the research, just do our briefs and come on and have fun.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what,
We had some production help in the beginning.
but that wasn't
Um,
getting gas, but we did have the questions, right?
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Neil Young.
Neil Young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robert, you're being coy.
Is it?
ZZ would be fantastic. Absolutely.
How
Wolfgang Van
about Neil
Halen.
Young? Would you tune into that show, Robert Lawless? Come on now.
There's the response that Dana gave you.
What's that? Can suck it too. Yeah, well, probably can.
Yeah. I hope Neil Young can remember. Southern boy, don't need a many rounds. All right. So that's where we're at. What's your favorite memory from the show, Robbie?
Sarah, yes, see if you can get Rick. We'd love to have Rick on here. My favorite memory from the show, you know what some of the coolest things was before the show.
Yeah.
There was times because we don't really do pre-show prep at all, but we'll get the guests on. If they come on a little bit early, we just start talking. There was a few times where we were talking. I'm like, save this for the show. This is too
Yeah.
cool. And then we get on the show and it wasn't quite the same as that pre-show banter for some reason. And I'm trying to
Right.
remember who the guests were. There was a few of them that were like that. That was like, man, oh, there's some great stories. And they just start telling stories and stuff. I'm like, oh, save that.
Yeah. Keep that one. Keep it
And
loaded.
how many times did it happen? We go, 30 seconds to countdown. And they're just talking. You're like, we got to go live. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got to throw you down below here. Yeah, there was a lot of that, man. A lot of
Yeah.
that. I think one of my favorite pre-shows was Bill Leverty because he's just fun, man. I love Bill. He's such a good dude,
Yeah.
and the pre-show was hilarious. He's making me laugh, and then I'm like trying to go to the live, and then he comes in, he's like Mr. Straight, like, "Hey guys, what's up?" Like,
Yeah, right.
I'm like, I'm still red faced, gut hurting. I'm like, come on, man. Steve Whitman.
Joey Allen was pretty funny when he came on, and he was something about, because back then we were doing a little bit of wine and every show. I was doing wine like every show for the first 3-4 months, or I don't even remember how long. So it's like, oh, have a drink. And he's going, oh, no, drinking at all. And then he had like a water, and then he just switched it out with a beer or something. And I was like, yeah, okay.
I'm telling Andrew to grab my iPhone because everybody's talking about Tawny, and I'm going to share something with some people here. Tawny, man, she did love doing the show. So before the show with Tawny, she was like, hey guys, can we keep it kind of short, 20, 30 minutes, I've got other things to do. And we're like, yeah, absolutely, man. Because she's uncomfortable and, whatever the case may have been. But so before the show, that's where she was at. Luis Maldonado's phenomenal.
Yeah, she texted me as well, and that's what she was like, can we just keep it short and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, of course, whatever you want. But I was thinking a lot of people at that point were, staying on long and having a great time. I mean, staying on long. We weren't trying to keep it to an hour. She went, what, an hour and 45? I forget what it was now. It was pretty long.
She did, and then we stayed on after that for, I don't even know how long. It was at least 45 minutes after the show, and still talking and still going back and forth. And the great thing is that she texted me immediately after the show, and she was like, thank you so much. Here, I'll read it to you guys here in just a moment. Let me see if I can bring it up here real quick, because I've obviously saved it. It's like burned, and my phone is not going anywhere. She says, thanks for everything today, Drake. I hope we didn't go over and bore your audience too much. Thanks for having me on. I obviously had a ball, or I would have left an hour earlier. What a great show you have. You guys are phenomenal. I didn't want to leave the show. When you get a minute, send me your Instagram and Twitter so that I can follow you or comment on some of your work. You have my phone number here, so I will be here if you need anything from me. Don't hesitate to pick up and call me and pick up the phone and call me. Thank you for everything. Love, Tawny. So I responded, thanks for everything, the normal courtesies. Um, she said, I said, you didn't bore anybody. People want and need to hear your story. You're a phenomenal woman. She says, oh, Drake's, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. And of course, I will be on I'll do your radio show. It would be my pleasure. Like I said, you have my phone number. If you need anything, call me. Don't hesitate or text me. She's like, and then like funny, like who calls people these days? Like nobody calls anymore. So just text me. I said, I'm old school, I guess. I still call. And she's like, cool, I'll pick up. So then you called me. And I'll kind of show this here. I don't know if you can make it out or not because of the glare.
No.
But you called me and you were like, dude, did you hear that Tawny was dead? Like, I'm hearing rumors from Eddie Trunk's show that, or his social media.
Yeah. You know what? I can't remember what town I was in, but I still remember my surroundings. It was in an underground garage on the street level where it was open. And I just remember that whole setting. And I was talking to you and I was like, what's going on? And then I think we both texted her and called her and I was like, oh man, and left a message. Is call me back. I want to know that this isn't true,
Yeah. So you reached out to me and then, so all the messages, are all blue from her on there, except for the very last one where you can see we're like hearting on each other. And that last one says, hey, are you okay, Drake? And it's green. And obviously she never got to check it, man. And that just breaks my heart, dude. So I'll never get rid of this phone just because of that. You know what I mean? That was definitely like the most absolutely heartbreaking moment because we just had her on. I mean, we were just texting like 2 days before that. And, so that was hell. Yeah, Tawny's post passing led me to the Hangout through notifications. Love you, Tawny. Wow. So yeah, that's silver linings in some things, man, that are impossible to have silver linings in.
Hangout through notifications. Yeah, crazy, huh?
Yeah. So you guys, let's keep this thing going. Let's keep the Hangout alive. Let's stay in touch.
Jack Russell new shirt. The new shirt that we're gonna have soon.
Right on, man.
I was just sitting on it, so I thought, what am I sitting on? Oh, it's a sample of the new shirt.
Yeah, that's cool. Man.
Yeah,
you gotta send me one.
Well, that's that one. I don't think you'd fit into it. It's the only sample. I mean, it's no offense, but I mean, it's probably like a medium or a small.
Come on, man.
You were a large man.
That's what she said.
Yeah, I know she said that.
Like talking shit to the DJ, LLL. Yeah.
Easy.
Shot in the dark. Veronica's right. That was a backhanded compliment, not. James Hyde, you can't laugh at that, bro. Come on, man. Come on, bro. You're supposed to have my back. All right. So I'm going to do something here because, everybody always says the things like, I love you guys and you guys are like family and blah, blah, blah. I'm saying it too. So I'm going to prove it right now because I'm typing. And when I say let's keep this thing going, let's keep in touch. Don't think that this wasn't just as much about you guys as it was about the guests and all those things.
That was really the intention when we started it, right? That's what we talked about, getting the guests involved. In fact, on the early shows, we brought guests into the Zoom, right? We brought them into the Zoom to ask a question. That was we wanted it to run it like kind of like a talk show sort of, but then that got a little weird. So this format where we can just read comments seemed to work really well instead of putting people on screen. But we did bring people on the screen the first, I don't know, 3 or 4 shows.
We did, man, and it worked out. The only problem was that a lot of times their internet connections drug down the show so bad it was horrible because most of them did it from their phones, and
Yeah.
and that became a little bit of a problem. So, um, yeah, we'll try to tweak it a little bit in the future. Maybe we can do some of that stuff. And don't be sad, Kim. It, it's not over. It's just changing.
It's just changing.
It's just changing. All right. So we done?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess anybody got any comments to say other than what they I guess that's probably it.
Right.
Hopefully James is out there. Hopefully, James, you can help us out a little bit and get this moving. Get some actors or actresses or whatever. I guess
Yeah.
actors, and we're good with
Absolutely.
that. Musicians, just getting the right people on here.
Yeah. Let me see what's that say. Joyce says, Robbie, you gave me the last Wasted Rock Ranger T-shirt at the Winnemucca concert last year. You also signed it. Love my shirt. Thanks. That's
Yeah,
cool.
that was God. We had those for a while, and then when we went back out, there was hardly any of them left, but they just weren't really a popular one. Is that Leroy in there?
That's one of my top tens right there,
Oh yeah,
James,
Leroy Butler.
that you asked earlier. Leroy
Wow.
Butler, man, he was a fantastic guest on the show. Much love, my
I,
brother.
I got to watch that when my internet connection wasn't working that night. Remember, I was in and then I was out, or I forget what happens, but I was watching and wasn't able to participate.
Yeah, he was phenomenal, man.
It was a good
Phenomenal.
show. But then it happened, then
Phenomenal.
it reversed, and then I did the Robert Sarzo show, and you weren't able to get in, so we each did a show on our own. It's not
We
quite the same
did.
without my buddy old pal there, my buddy old pal.
It wasn't, man. Like I did that show when you were stuck in the airports last 2 weeks ago or whatever.
Oh, that's right. That's
With
right. Yeah.
Austin Moe was our guest, and what a
Yeah.
great young man, dude. I stayed on the show with him after the live for almost 2 hours.
Mm.
Like we just kept talking, and he fantastic young man, but it sucked doing it without you, bro. I was like, man, it's kind of
Yeah,
I
it's
was
you
like,
know what? If you have a travel day, like on a Tuesday, which rarely happens for us, but the way the airports work these days, anybody who travels, most of the time you are going to be delayed. I would say
yeah,
when we traveled in 2021, I would say 80% of our flights were delayed. It was that bad. Every time you go in, it's like, oh, delay. No. Right now, it's at about 50-50.
wow, man,
Yep.
wow,
For this year, we haven't traveled that much, but each time there's always delayed flights. I mean, not always,
love
50
you
50
too, Jess.
half the time.
Yeah, that's crazy. Your wonderful wife, love you guys. She's been so great, dude. Even in the beginning, she was definitely part of the crew. We'd have her on, and she would be asking questions. She was phenomenal, man. That was fun. That was fun. It's all been good. It's all been good. Every bit of it's been good,
Yeah,
man.
it's been a fun experience, but we're not talking like it's over. We want to continue, so we just have to reassess how we're going to do it
How?
to make it work properly. We just can't be, it's just been difficult. That's all. So we need it to
It
be a
has
little
been.
easier. So we'll figure something out and we'll get back going. But I mean, everybody stay engaged on the page because certainly
Yeah.
we can keep the conversation on the page going. Keep posting things. People post stuff. Drake post stuff, or whoever admins post things, and keep the page alive. And we'll figure it out. And once we start knowing, we'll start posting and maybe actually talk about the guest much earlier than we have been. Because a lot of times it's kind of like we don't say a lot till a couple days before because you just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, we'd say, hey, so and so is going to be on next week, and then it was like, hey, man, I got a gig, or they just put
Yeah.
us in the studio, or I got COVID, or my
Yep.
kid, or and it was like, so it just became where I couldn't really promote the show prior to like the day
Like,
before when it was like guaranteed, okay, we're going forward,
or
and
like
that hurt.
when we were in lockdown, we were able to, when we were booked out 3 months, and then we were,
Yeah,
we'd run like, okay, the next four, we'd show, here's the next four coming up. We knew what they were, and you're pretty solid that they were going to be there because guess what? They were at home.
yeah. I mean, what else you had to do,
They were at home. There was not much else going on.
right? So yeah, I
So,
mean, we'll make it happen. Like one of the best viewing shows we have tonight. So we'll keep going. Robbie,
all right, good,
name
Steve.
one thing.
Yes, go ahead.
Name one thing about what this show has given you more as an artist.
Giving me more as an artist?
Yeah, helped you grow as an artist.
How do you put that into words? Maybe just appreciation, appreciation for.
Yeah.
But I've always had that anyhow, but maybe more appreciation. So I mean, I appreciate what I do, and appreciate the people who enjoy what it is. So appreciation, but I've had that, so I never neglect that. So maybe more appreciation. I don't know. That's a tough one to say.
So I can say what I've seen in you.
Okay.
And through the two years of doing this, is in the beginning you were really kind of reserved during the show, and you didn't speak up.
Really? I thought it was more. Maybe
you didn't come like you would when it was just you and I, but when the guest was on, you'd kind of. And I saw you kind of like come out like, man, you kind of shock me sometimes, man. Your personality and your brilliance, dude. We sit and talk for a long time, like we did last night, for hours, and you're a brilliant human being, man. And I appreciate that about you, because I can have deep conversations with you, and it's like, you know what I mean? You don't get that out of everybody.
Well, I mean, I can say that I've told you this before, that our banter sometimes on the phone is just so much better than it is on here. And I think maybe there's a lag that creates that. Sometimes our banter back and forth when we're chatting is like, I'm going, man, we should be like this on the show. It's more back and forth, quick, And here there seems to be this little bit of a lag, or it's a little different. And maybe it's just that that people are listening. Maybe that is part of it. And that's
I think that's got something to do with it. Plus I'm trying to focus on comments and
that's true. And I'm always like going, okay, hey.
Drake, what the fuck? Country record, man. Huh? I missed that one. I'm sorry. Country song. They want you to make that country song. Oh, our country song. Robby?
Reserve. You just have to play. What's that?
Yeah, we've got to do that song. We promised we would do a song together.
Oh.
And
now you could play drums on it.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty good on the old kit, man. So I've been playing a lot and getting after it. But you have a guest to play off of too. Yeah, and that makes it hard too. You got the guest to play off of and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's true.
You got to include both of them. Yes, absolutely agree, Leroy. Blessings on both sides, my friend. You are an amazing man, and I love reading all the positivity and seeing all the positivity.
Yeah, that was a good thing, because I ended up working with Leroy. We got that single out. You can find "Love Is What We Need Right Now." You can find that out there, and there's other ones in the works. But there's the single that's out that we still want the world to hear.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. All right. Well, I say let's go ahead and wrap it up, my brother, and we will keep the page alive, and we will keep this thing alive. Somebody said maybe more T-shirts. We'll see about that someday.
Yeah, let's see. Let's get it back up and rolling and figure it out from there once we're back.
Yeah.
And who knows how long? And we might just look at like this is off season for the moment, and then really kind of come back with a more belligerent attitude. No, just kidding.
You never know. Robby, hands down, my favorite person to photograph. You did some fantastic photographs of the concert last time. She was incredible. Chad, thank you. Yeah. The best voice in radio right there is Chad, man. This dude, I can't believe he's not tearing up a big market somewhere, dude. He's got the best radio voice.
Sarah McNamara is going to be there at the Whiskey. I see her all over the country. I swear. I'm like, what are you doing here? Wait a minute. You're in Texas. Why are you in Texas? Wait a minute. You're in South Dakota? What are you doing here? Or wherever it is. I don't know. It's all over the place.
Peace out, Shar. Thank you so much for everything. Veronica, thank you for all you've done for the show. You've been instrumental. We appreciate you so much. All right.
Okay.
Thanks for sharing your lives with us who have caught most of your shows. Don, you've been there I've seen your name every week almost, brother. I appreciate you very much. Much love, my friend. We'll see you some more. Trust me. Take care of yourself. And that Mopar, yes, yes, my Challenger is my baby. I don't know, actually, my truck is now becoming my kind of my favorite. I've got that big old Ram 2500 lifted up and system in it that makes your heart want to jump out of your chest.
See, I think I'd probably take that over the other one.
They're both fun. All right. We love you. Be good to each other. And until next time,
Yep. We'll see you
it's
soon.
the Hangout Live. We'll see you then.
Cool.